Like, I want to have a life to be able to live. You know, it's really going to be hard for me to take more hits than I take it. God forbid, get in front of a jury and have a chance. And so I'm having this emergency call because something has to give. I've listened. I've been a superb client, as you said. I jumped on the plane. I'm coming to New York, but I'm just running around waiting for a shoe to drop.
If I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as the hip hop is fine with his behaviors. There's no one else being vocal. So you would look at it and just say, because that mind your business, or let me not say nothing about nothing, or those things, it would allow the entire culture to register as if they're for that behavior.
Look at the outcome.
Hey.
What did I say to you guys? Who can these people run to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is screwing you. Look at Aubrey O'Day. The boss's boss don't care. You could go to the police, all bought and paid for, and even if you get a special prosecutor like Damian Williams, they can just be reassigned to another case. People keep pretending like all of the stuff that they hear about Diddy is something that's new. He's been doing these things.
You have been perceiving it for numerous years. Even if no one on television would exactly express it audibly, that Diddy was not merely a frantic socialite. He was an individual people murmured about as an oppressor who retained documentation because he believed he was invincible. That sector professionals recognized the gatherings, the tactical manipulation, the intimidations, and the manner in which performers and employees vanished once they ceased cooperating. That someone in some location possessed recordings that could shatter the entire reputation. Presently, those recordings have arrived. His personal devices capturing him spiraling over legal actions, debating with his counselor regarding how to manipulate the press, and speaking as if the genuine conflict is for the jurors' perceptions, not the reality. 50 Cent advances and declares, "If I remain silent, you will assume all of us are satisfied with this." Then releases a 4-installment Netflix production that aligns almost flawlessly with what the public has been asserting for decades. And Jaguar Wright observes all of it and does not waver. She simply states what you previously conjectured. This is not a misconception. It is a recurring theme. Therefore, as you witness Diddy's meticulously managed dynasty fracture on screen, inquire of yourself, were these merely hearsay that became uncontrollable, or were they admonitions everyone elected to overlook until the proof eventually overtook the myth?
That you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you said you weren't a part of that lifestyle, you weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations, I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else, but I did feel uncomfortable with the way you represent the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it, just that alone.
So you didn't realize
as much stuff was coming. Like, when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them. And it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like, when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little hard.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, I was going with, like, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. You know, so I hope it works out, because with his family, the things that go on internally is that those.
Contemplate how enthusiasts discuss Diddy's gatherings. For decades, they were regarded as a ritual of transition. If you reached the Hamptons' white celebration, you had succeeded. Within the lifestyle, individuals boasted about associating with him as if it were touring Graceland or Times Square. Noisy, packed, slightly chaotic, yet essentially enjoyable. Then 50 Cent arrives and asserts, "No, I was not attending. I am not interested in all those unconventional activities." And abruptly, those Instagram flawless evenings appear significantly more like those suspicious late-night venues everyone cautions you against but still queues up for. The Netflix production populates the specifics fans jest about but do not truly desire to visualize that a male companion clarifies how he was transported in approximately March 9th, Biggie's passing anniversary annually, for endurance events that persisted for days. He depicts hotel apartments converted into specialized laboratories. Illuminations lowered, audio increased, platters of medication, and Diddy orchestrating the movements while recording devices functioned for his personal collection. Recall, when federal agents raided Diddy's residences, they did not merely discover elegance. They uncovered commercial quantities of infant oil and lubricant. The sort of inventory that causes all those vintage fan quips regarding slick celebrations to suddenly seem less like internet jokes and more like proof.
It was surprising that he actually filmed it.
It was very interesting to watch a man who's known for his brand presence. You know, he has a really amazing knack for marketing and all of that, and how he was sort of taking that into account in how he was coming off to the public.
The exclusive video also shows Combs in Harlem greeting fans.
Off my back, bro. Lord, you win. I'm gonna win. Lord, you win. We win it. I'll accept it. I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I got it. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath. Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with, like that's what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like 150 hugs.
You're a public person as well, and there was one instance in Harlem, and his reaction when those people
Went away.
Got in
the car and said, I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirty. This shows you his character.
was that the reason for including it?
Yeah. I mean, and what's the odds that you would do that in front of the camera? Like that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on.
The individuals you recall from television who currently appear as if they are providing testimony against a cult figure. Aubrey O'Day, the identical woman from Making the Band you observed striving through dance routines and recording sessions, resides before a lens and recites a legal statement where an observer claims they encountered Diddy and a different male conducting sexual deeds upon her while she remained severely inebriated and stationary. Therefore, when 50 discusses Diddy possessing a deity obsession, grinning for the lenses while handling everyone surrounding him like replaceable background actors, remark resonates uniquely. The mythic celebrations individuals utilize to boast about begin to appear more like cinema's darkest narratives enclosed in a luxury outfit, pressure disguised as opportunity, suffering refined into video sequences, and abuse concealing within the identical recording he believed would cause him to seem invincible. That is precisely what Jaguar Wright has been discussing.
The whole point of him filming this whole thing was because I'm sure that he planned on doing his own documentary. This is an extreme narcissist you're talking about. Extreme. He's sitting there with feds, an eye shot away from his hotel suite, filming his hotel room, and he's looking at them and he's filming it right back. He's literally saying in certain parts, yeah, make sure you're filming all of this because we need to get some, some cutaway shots.
That's wild.
No, he was literally, did nobody pay attention to that?
Oh, I saw.
Like he said, yeah, make sure you're filming all of this. We need this for cutaways. Like you're sitting here collecting footage, like a director, like an AD.
Yeah. What does that say to the cameraman that, can anybody be bought, or he said, the cameraman said he recorded all this for Diddy, and then of course Diddy got locked up, so.
Yeah, Diddy got locked up and he didn't get paid. That's a lot of people seem to have that experience.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Dealing with Combs Enterprise, they come in and they work and they don't get paid.
Jaguar explains it clearly. Diddy was not captured by another person's concealed lens. He engaged a cinematographer to follow him throughout the inquiry because he believed he would overcome the lawsuit and subsequently distribute his own film regarding how he endured it. The existing evidence she is discussing is not merely incidental footage. It is periods of him recording tactical conversations, overnight stays, and emotional shifts so he could afterward portray himself as the protagonist. When that strategy collapsed, the filmmaker reportedly was not compensated. The association disintegrated and the identical recordings Diddy intended to regulate were marketed until 50 Cent and Netflix acquired them.
We need to be able to be speaking to the potential jurors. He said, you might only be the guy that watches CNN, but there's 9 billion people in the world, and 7 billion of them are on Instagram or TikTok. We need to have control of that. He said we need to know how these potential jurors are thinking. That's what he said.
Right.
So what does that mean? He hadn't even been arrested yet. He hadn't even been taken into custody yet. Damian Williams hadn't come forward yet with a list of the charges that they were charging him with and what they were taking him to trial for. That didn't happen until December.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, they were losing? Losing what? Losing at what? We need to have control of counts. We need to make sure that we know how the potential jurors are thinking.
Very true.
How does that not sound like anything other than what it is? They were looking to infect the jury pool as early as possible. Look at what happened. Look at the outcome.
Hey.
What did I say to you guys? Who can these people run to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is screwing you. Look at Aubrey O'Day. The boss's boss don't care. You could go to the police, all bought and paid for, and even if you get a special prosecutor like Damian Williams, they can just be reassigned to another case.
Inside that lodging suite, he is not inquiring of his counselor how to convey the reality. He is advocating for an individual who understands the most sordid aspect of press and indoctrination to advance before the narrative prior to a formal accusation being filed. Essentially, he was concerned regarding the juror selection, not the proof, insisting that his crew obtain someone in the public discussing, distorting, and molding perspective as prematurely as feasible. It is precisely what the judicial commentators assert, as well. He was handling a national lawsuit like a public relations launch, attempting to regulate what prospective jurors observed on television and digital platforms so they would enter the courtroom already influenced.
Look at what happened. Look at the outcome.
Hey.
What did I say to you guys? Who can these people run to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is screwing you. Look at Aubrey O'Day. The boss's boss don't care. You could go to the police, all bought and paid for, and even if you get a special prosecutor like Damian Williams, they can just be reassigned to another case.
Furthermore, when she asserts that fairness was not truly achieved, she is highlighting the disparity between what those recordings demonstrate and what the judicial structure executed. He is found guilty on industry-connected adult distribution counts, yet escapes the racketeering and predatory behavior accusations, even with periods of himself on his personal device spiraling over litigation, strategizing account regulation, and never once prioritizing the individuals alleging him. From her perspective, that is precisely how offenders with capital function. They record everything, engage crews to decontaminate the narrative, and even when they eventually receive a penalty, the survivors are still left sensing that there was no place to flee and no tribunal that genuinely disclosed the entire reality.
He owned 25% of Bad Boy. When they started Bad Boy, he puts 25 under his name, 75 under his mother's name. Diddy does. So 75% of the company's under his mother's name, 25% is under his name. One day he comes up to him, fully ready to take this guy out, says, you have to sign off the 25% to me. He says, I'm not going to do it. He says, you have to do it. He forces him to sign up and gives away the 25% over to Diddy. Okay? Gives away the 25% to Diddy. That's his.
Threatening his life?
He threatens his life, allegedly, to give up the 25%, which he ends up giving up to Diddy. And he says, I'm going to give it back to you. Never gives it back to him. And then later on, when he takes him to court to say, this is my 25%, the court says, no, you have mental issues. You're having challenges here. This is out of control. Boom. Diddy ends up keeping the 25%. Nothing ever happens. He never gets the 25% back. This is the guy that was doing all the...
Contemplate how an individual truly operates. Do not merely attend to former partners. Listen to the commercial associate who assisted in constructing his domain and finished with naught. Kirk Burroughs is not an arbitrary digital observer. He was present when Bad Boy originated with documentation stating he possessed a genuine portion of the enterprise. You perceive him detailing how Diddy maintained the authority on records, how the equities were established, how he possessed every agreement, and how one day that 25% interest Kirk believed he held was simply vanished. Individuals continuously mention the identical account. Kirk asserts he was intimidated with a club, coerced to endorse, and then silently removed from the history, while Diddy proceeded to become the representative of polished suit prosperity. The hearsay that aligns too precisely to overlook is that the corporate organization was intended so litigation could not effortlessly impact Diddy's reputation, particularly following that disastrous 1991 benefit match where individuals perished in a crush and relatives pursued whoever they believed genuinely managed the funds. Whether every particular could be demonstrated or not, the recurring theme appears recognizable. Someone approaches, assists him in succeeding greatly, and when they become troublesome, the agreements, the recognition, and even the companionship get reconstructed instantly.
He first, dropped the bomb that he had been essayed by Diddy. It's Kirk Burroughs.
Yeah.
Who has been here since the beginning.
Yeah, he's the founder.
He said people keep pretending like all of the stuff that they hear about Diddy is something that's new. He's been doing these things. He's a witness to offenses that happened over 30 years.
Subsequently, Kirk proceeds further and asserts what numerous individuals within the sector supposedly murmured but never expressed on camera, that Diddy violated physical and personal boundaries with him as well. He discusses being assaulted, regarding how the individuals surrounding them were not genuinely surprised, merely silent, and how everyone behaved as if it were entirely new when the significant legal actions eventually arrived on documentation. That is merely a claim. However, when you align it with staff members stating they witnessed him harming Cassie, performers asserting they were penalized for declining him, and Jaguar labeling him a habitual abuser, it does not seem like an isolated narrative anymore. It appears like another fragment of the identical mystery, evidence that with Diddy, the aggression is not exclusively in the private quarters or the establishment. It is integrated into the manner he utilizes individuals, their physiques, and their destinies as if they all pertain to him.
I believe that he was victimized, and I think it happened long before the industry. People really don't want to look closer into his childhood and to what his mama had going on in that house. God knows what he saw and what happened to him in his own mama house. All of those strangers, them up involved, looking around, seeing what was going on. And let's just be clear, it sounds like her house was a house of, professional freak-offs. So who knows what he saw or what could have happened to him while she was busy entertaining people and pouring and getting tips, as she would say, for her after-hour life.
Oh, yeah. He was, I'm going to say he was surprised to hear that.
School bus driver. No, was he surprised or was he like, zip it, you talking too much? Because that's what it looked like to me. It looked like You talking a little bit too much. They don't need to know about that. While she was sitting there, oh, because I was a bus driver and I was this, and I worked at the after hours. And I would pour them drinks and they would give me big tips.
She didn't say it just like that. Big tips. You know, in
Big tip and spending cheese.
damn. In Sean's own words, in Diddy's own words, he had said he had a sigh of relief learning that he was the son of a hustler or a gangster. Like he wanted that status. He wanted to say that he was a sigh of relief is a wild thing to say, that your daddy was a gangster or a hustler, or that's what you heard that he was.
Well, I mean, like Tim said, they had a bunch of blaxploitation movies being played around the house all the time. They grew up with the Mac playing. They grew up with Superfly playing. Like, I mean, if that's what you got going on, you got two women in the house and there's no men around, and these are what the little boys are watching. You got basketball players coming over late at night. You got hustlers coming over, PIMPs coming over, women who look like they were modeling for Jet Magazine coming over. Like, it sounds like the nature of the environment is what shaped their perception of what cool was.
Jaguar does not justify him, yet she provides perspective. She discusses a youth observing his parent return from evening entertainment, from the pavement, from whatever tasks she performed to maintain their stability, and how that variety of atmosphere can distort a child's concept of affection, authority, and esteem. From her viewpoint, he matured, discovering that endurance signified dominance of finances, of environments, of how different individuals perceive you, and ultimately dominance of the individuals themselves. That is likely why, when he became elder and wealthier, he did not merely desire to prosper. He wished to possess every person within the scene. It corresponds slightly too accurately with what everyone else depicts. Jaguar's perspective is basic and disturbing. The individual the public witnessed become a tycoon may have been harboring an injury from his residence, but rather than curing it, he transformed it into a weapon. He gathered all that agony and converted it into a practice of shattering other individuals psychologically, monetarily, and bodily, then labeling it commerce, affection, or devotion based on what benefited him at the time.
Trying to shape Misa into his mother. Can you see that? Like,
Yeah, with the blonde hair and yeah, and all of that. I mean,
really?
Yes, the question, what kind of man puts his hands on his mother? The same kind of man that parties with his mom. The same kind of man who kisses his mom in the mouth. The same kind of man who seems to have accurate knowledge that his elderly mother can put both of her hands, her palms, on the floor and while she's standing up, bent over.
Oh, damn, I ain't seen that one. Oh.
You never seen the Instagram video when he was talking about how his mom was still young and spry and how she still liked to party and how they was getting a IV drip?
Oh.
And she was kissing him in the mouth on the video. And it was like, yeah, my mom can bend over and touch the floor with her palms. It's a very, very, very weird relationship. It's weird.
You know, it kind of goes into, I mean, he seems to be having, and again, I know the freak offs, that his son is there. Like, it seems like he likes to get down with his kids.
Yeah. But that wasn't all. Just to hear Little Rod say, like, the boys were around. Roger Bonds talked about the children as well. What kind of parenting relationship is that?
Peculiar as it remains, Diddy was not merely romancing females. He was attempting to reconstruct them. In her phrasing, he possessed a distorted obsession with his parent and continuously fashioned the women surrounding him into a particular interpretation of her. How they garbed themselves, how they conversed with him, how rapidly they pardoned him after he injured them. When you position that alongside accounts of him insisting on complete availability, dictating decisions regarding tresses, appearance, and even whom they could associate with, it ceases sounding like elevated expectations and begins sounding like an individual compelling every association into a single twisted pattern.
As CEO Ted Sarandos knows, he's been amassing footage since he was 19 to tell his own story in his own way. It is fundamentally unfair and illegal, that's the thing I'm more interested about, for Netflix to misappropriate that work. Netflix is plainly, plainly desperate to sensationalize every minute of Mr. Combs' life without regard for truth in order to capitalize on a never-ending media frenzy. If Netflix cared about truth or Mr. Combs' legal rights, it would not be ripping private footage out of context, including conversations with his lawyers that were never intended for public viewing. No rights in that material were ever transferred to Netflix or any third party, the statement continues. It is equally staggering that Netflix handed creative control to Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, a longtime adversary with a personal vendetta who has spent too much time slandering Mr. Combs. Beyond the legal issues, this is a personal breach of trust. Mr. Combs had long respected Ted Sarandos and admired his legacy. Uh-oh, Netflix, you're getting called out by Diddy. What are you going to do? He has admired the legacy of Sarandos' late father-in-law, Clarence Avant. For Netflix to give his life story to someone who has publicly attacked him for decades feels like an unnecessary and deeply personal affront. At minimum, he expected fairness from people he respects.
Diddy's formal position is that this entire situation is a disgraceful character assassination. In that footage, he relies on the identical discussion points his staff promoted to the media. Netflix utilized pilfered recordings that were never permitted. Discussions with his attorneys were extracted without background and delivering his biography to 50 Cent. A perennial opponent with a private grudge is, in his phrasing, biased and unlawful. He portrays himself as the genuine casualty here, asserting he has been documenting his existence since he was 19 to eventually narrate his own account. And currently, other individuals are profiting from labor that was intended to pertain to him.
If I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as the hip-hop is fine with his behaviors. There's no one else being vocal. So you would look at it and just say, because that mind your business, or let me not say nothing about nothing, or those things, it would allow the entire culture to register as if they're for that behavior.
50 responds to that with a singular basic concept. If he remains silent, individuals would interpret hip-hop as being comfortable with Diddy's conduct. Within the GMA discussion and different venues, he asserts there is nobody else being outspoken. Therefore, remaining uninvolved would transmit the signal that the entire lifestyle endorses what is on those recordings and in those legal actions. That is why he does not merely publish internet jokes. He places his reputation on a 4-installment sequence featuring jurors, previous staff, purported survivors, and Diddy's personal tapes and allows them to converse. Netflix supports him by declaring the recordings were lawfully acquired and that the endeavor is not retaliation. It is record-keeping, highlighting they attempted to secure Diddy and his counselors on screen and were declined. When you retreat and observe everything collectively, the confidential recordings he ordered, the freak-off accounts that finally accompanied identities and chronologies, the commercial associates who claim he shattered them, the jurors who acknowledged the accusations did not entirely equal the conduct. You are not merely witnessing a chaotic superstar collapse. You are witnessing an individual who utilized decades constructing a persona lose authority over the final cut. The narrative regarding pilfered recordings and character assassinations begins to appear weak alongside periods of his personal speech fretting about jurors, boasting regarding indoctrination, and handling individuals like complications to be regulated rather than existences he harmed. If a person's intimate recordings, former companions, and judicial records all begin narrating the identical repulsive history, how many instances can you criticize background before you acknowledge that this is who they truly are? And currently that those recordings exist perpetually, not merely in his safe, but in the lifestyle's recollection. What do you believe will be more difficult to delete? His penalty or the image of him that the public has finally perceived? If you enjoy this production, strike that join button so that you never overlook any fresh broadcasts. And until then, family, stay authentic.